Hi, welcome to Men's Talk, and I am Saf, and as usual, I have Joss and Daz. Now, what should we talk about today? Synchronicity. Let's talk about synchronicity. First introduced to us by a psychologist called Carl Jung, and he had this notion that events happened as meaningful coincidences. Now, I thought that only happened with twins, but it doesn't. And I've had many things that I thought, wow, I was just thinking about that. Guys, tell me you've had that. Everyone has that, surely.
I've had one or two.
Yeah.
Whether I believe in it, coincidence.
It's more than just a coincidence. That we can't get confused with coincidence and synchronicity. Similar, but it's more than it's something that you've thought about on a regular basis and it's happened. You think of someone and then they phoned you, or you think of it, you want to get this job or something. It's something positive.
You can always have them positive thoughts, and it's one of those things that if you constantly have the positive thoughts, it's going to make you feel better about yourself, and then positive things will come your way. So you can have that side of it. And the synchronicity side of things, it's one of them. And we were talking about numbers earlier, and I used to constantly wake up at 2:22 for about a month every night. 2:22, wake up, look at the alarm. Next night, 2:22, wake up. Now that has got no meaning to anyone, apart from everyone in the RAF fire service. The emergency number was 222. Now tell me what that means, I have no idea, but I kept on waking up.
I think synchronicity comes up. Myself and Joss talked about synchronicity earlier, weren't we?
Yes, we was.
And you had your own...
It's also, I can't think of the word, but it's dependent on what you believe and what you feel is so and what you feel isn't so. So it's one of those conversations that are lovely to have, and if you either get it or you get it and you understand it and you believe in it, or you get it to an extent and leave it where it is. My beliefs with it, I get it fully to the extent that I get it, and meaningful coincidences in my universe, in my world, in my bubble, nothing is a coincidence. Like my mum says to me, we don't believe in luck. So my mum never says to me, make your own luck. I'm telling you, my mum never says to me, good luck, because you make your own luck in life. You reap what you sow. You put in the work, you're gonna get the results. So as in aligning that with synchronicity and things like law of attraction and putting out and getting back what you put out tenfold, it's also, like Daz just mentioned, positive thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer that thoughts become things. If you believe it, it will be. So watch what you think. And I'm also a big believer in watch the words that you say. That's why, me personally, I don't say, like, for example, in my generation, my age group, we say there's terminologies we use where, say you're really annoyed about something, I'll be like in the group chat, Saf moving mad. That's what we use. And moving mad is saying you're basically behaving erratically and not controlling how you feel.
Saf is moving mad.
And
I like that.
And that's the terms
I like that.
some of us in my generation use. Me, I've never used that statement. I never liked it because I find it dismissive. And
so what would you say then?
I wouldn't say nothing because you're allowed to feel how you feel. But that's another conversation. As in aligning that back into what I'm saying is, I'm careful with the words I use because they become things. So if I'm thinking negatively, my dad always says to me, mum says to me, dad's been telling me this from the day I was born. If you're not careful what you put into your seed will become that. So these negative thoughts you have, the seed that you are, because I believe I'm a seed personally, it's going to grow negatively. So you're going to have to de-weed your garden. It's like gardening. It's like...
Have you never had a thought about someone and then suddenly they phoned?
Yeah, I'm saying yes, I believe in all this stuff. That's what I'm relating to. Yes, definitely.
I haven't. Not that I can recall.
You thought about me the other day and I phoned you straight away.
That's something which I haven't recalled. It could have happened 100 times over and I just haven't put two and two together. And all of a sudden, then it has happened. But whether I can say, yeah, I've thought about it and it has happened, now I can't. But there's a number of things. Like one of the things what you said was what's meant to be is meant to be. And if you work hard, you're going to reap the benefits from it. I'm a big believer in that. So if you work extremely hard at something and you want it, then it's going to become of that. Go on.
Because also with that, you're going to reap the benefits, and it might not be what you want, but it's going to be, you're going to get what you need.
You only get out of things what you put in.
Synchronicity is further, it's deeper than that. That's when you talk about work ethic, and what you put in is what you get out.
Yeah, because that's his take on it. So my take on it would be what you get out is what you put in, and that's law of attraction. All that good stuff.
That's my take on it.
And as in regards to you get a phone call and you thought about that person 10 hours before, in the Caribbean we've got a saying where when someone phones us that I just thought of, the first thing we say in Jamaica, or the Caribbean, you live long.
Yeah.
As in, when you say you live long, I was just thinking about you.
We say the same.
And that's not a coincidence that I thought about you and you just popped up. And that's why also in the Caribbean we say we don't chat people. And that means you don't give out bad energies to people and chat behind people's backs, because you might bump into that person around the corner. And that person might phone you on the spot after you've gone over there and said something negative about them, and now you've got to sit down and pretend like you like them.
So is that not the rule of life anyway? You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, that's the rule of life. But in the line of synchronicity and law of attraction, if that's the stuff you believe in, you wouldn't do anything like that, because you know, run the rule of life, and because of the other belief systems you have, they just wouldn't stand either way. So both rules apply either way, whether you believe in them or not. But that's it. I don't know.
There's people out there. There's people out there, Daz and Joss, who've wished for things to happen, not necessarily because they've worked for it to happen, and all of a sudden it's happened. That's synchronicity right there. Like I wish I get a phone call to get this speaking job, for example. I keep on saying speaking job, and all of a sudden I get a phone call and say, look, man, we're looking for someone to speak. Are you available?
But let's not miss out.
I haven't worked for it.
Let's not miss out Daz's point. That comes with hard work. So the synchronicity in there, and law of attraction is in you put in what you put out, aka hard work. So the reason I'm now in this seat, in this room, on this show, in this interview, is because when I affirmed this stuff many moons ago, I worked hard. And it came when it came, but it could have come in a different form. How much stuff in life have you worked hard for? And you might have you've worked hard for something, you didn't get the result you wanted, but you got a result somewhere else. You might
lots of time
and you might not have seen it like that until you're sitting here now, you're like, wait a minute, yeah, we actually got the garden done in quicker time than we did, but the car broke down the week before. And it's like, okay, you're still going to get the same blessings. They're just going to come when they come and how they come.
I've had it slightly, now that you talk about that, I've had it slightly where I've worked extremely hard within my business, and the business hasn't come through and you know, being self-employed, that you need that work to come through.
Yeah.
And it's got to the extent where I've actually sat down and thought, if nothing comes in the next week, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to go back to teaching.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden I've sat down and I've been up at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just thinking, like, one more night, I need to email a few people. If I email them, something's got to come in. And I keep on doing it. And then within a week, I get an email saying, does this contract come up? We'd like you to tender for it. And I see that I've worked hard for it because I've stopped up and I've tried to push and push and push. And because of that, then it's come back my way.
This is what I say, my man, as Denzel would say, my man. Yeah,
that's one of the things which I mean, one of the example of that. When I met Mel, my wife, I met her in a pub.
We know this story, don't we, Joss? You can't disclose all of this on TV.
With this side of it was, didn't speak to her all night. He was closing up. One of my mates came over to me and he said, is there any chance that you can come back? I've met this girl and we want to go back and just have a night. Have a night as in a conversation.
Oh, bada bing, bada boom. Yeah,
so I can remember
bada boom.
Going back to that house, and the first thing she said is, I'm on the couch, you're on the floor. Okay, I've got a boyfriend, I'm with someone, you're on the floor, and we watched The Wedding Singer. Okay, the movie The Wedding Singer.
With Adam Sandler.
Yeah. So the next day, I had exams for promotion, which I failed because we were talking until 4 o'clock in the morning, just constantly talking. Anyway, as I was leaving in the taxi the next morning, I actually turned around and said, is there any chance I can have your phone number? And I've never asked the girl for a phone number. And she turned around and said, yeah, but I'm going to Australia tomorrow. I'm moving there for a year. I said, well, I'm going to Kuwait for 4 months. She said, well, why do you want my number? I said, just to keep in contact. So she gave me a number. She didn't expect to hear from me. I texted her out of the blue, kept in touch for a year, came back a year later when she came back from Australia. I met up with her, and that was 19 years ago, and we're now married with a kid. So if I hadn't had the bottle or that thing of I need to ask for a number, because I've never done that before, I would never be where I am now. So that could be synchronicity of a little bit of some subliminal message telling me to ask for that number. Don't know, what do you think?
Yeah.
You know what, it could have been so different. It could have been so different if you didn't sleep on the couch. On the floor. If you... Do you know what I mean, though?
I was trying to see what he was getting at. I'm so sorry. I was trying to see where's he going with this. I'm so sorry.
We spoke about it yesterday.
No,
right?
yeah, no, but because obviously he was like, oh, if we didn't sleep on the couch, etc., etc. I was like, whoa.
Don't forget it is my wife.
I was like, whoa.
No, but she wasn't at that time. That's my point.
Yeah.
And where am I going with this?
You tell me.
Joss is really throwing me. Let's go back to synchronizing. Twins experience a lot of synchronicity. I know stories where, strangely, one of the twin is playing on a fruit machine and has won something, and the other twin is playing in a different pub in North and South London and also has won, maybe not exact amount, but similar amounts of money and playing on a fruit machine. Is that synchronicity? And I've heard that with twins thinking the same thing, doing the same thing.
It could be. I would see that, in my world, I would see that as coincidence.
Just a coincidence.
Yeah. I don't know. It's you can come up with so many things.
I wouldn't believe in coincidence, but I can't answer on that. I don't know what to say to that.
Because that's not hard work, is it? Like we were saying earlier.
No, yeah, because
get what you put in.
It's not all to do with hard work and putting in, getting out what you're putting in. Because, for example, I've had conversations with someone about the fact that I might believe that within relationships, neither partner should go to bed angry. And I might have had that conversation with them today. And then I've had that conversation with someone last week. And for me, it's made me realise that conversation was right for the fact it's popped up again. And that's the message. That, wait a minute, that's actually right. You're right in saying that, because it's not popping up again and again and again randomly with people for no reason. That there's a sign there. That actually, that ideology that going to bed angry whilst in a relationship isn't a good
Never
thing
go
to
to
do.
bed on an argument.
See, he's saying it now. And he's not agreeing because I'm speaking.
Leave house on an argument either.
That's it.
Could be the last time you
And the
see
fact
that.
I've had that conversation last week with someone, in my eyes and my perception, that's the universe giving me a sign. Like, I've been thinking like that since I was like 19, 21. So that shows me I'm on the right page with that. So, and that's not a coincidence in my eyes. For example, when I talk about Jossie Care and the work I do and the man I become and what I do and that I DJ, yes, I DJ, guys, if those that don't know. And my DJing stems from my mum and my godmothers used to love jungle music and rare groove and drum and bass, and not drum and bass, rare groove, jungle and house music, and used to go out and party and rave in that era of raving. And I grew up listening to CDs and collecting flyers. Then I grew up to that, and I grew up wanting to DJ garage music. So it's not a coincidence that I DJ house music now and garage music now. It's not a coincidence that I'm the founder of Jossie Care. Jossie Care stems from one name children used to call me at nursery when I was 19, Jossie. Two, my godfather and godmother used to call me Jossie, Wassie, like Worcester sauce. Worcester sauce, and it stems from that. So Worcester used to call me Jossie Wassie, and it's now Jossie Care. This isn't coincidence that I named that. As I was named that as a baby, and I'm now looking after babies.
I think
So you're saying it works organically. Things have happened organically.
Yeah, in my world.
In your world.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that I liked what you just said is that right at the beginning you turn around and go, I haven't got an answer for that. And the good thing is we never have an answer for it.
My man, yes.
We don't.
My
It's
man,
one of those
yes.
things. You can have an opinion, but I might not have an answer to it. So I can have an educated guess, but we're not all going to have the answers.
Right.
And I think with men in general, we feel as though we've got to be right with our opinion.
Yeah.
And I think what I'm learning from this experience is that I'm not going to be right all the time.
That's like the episode of Acceptance.
Yeah. So which goes
Lesson
right way
came
back.
around twice.
Yeah.
That's what happens in life. It comes around twice. So
What comes around goes around.
yeah, and the lessons come to you a second time around to learn it again, even if you've learnt it before.
But I like the way that you actually you admit I haven't got an answer for that.
Thank you.
Straight
You
away.
know, there's some belief
growth.
systems out there, and I don't want to bring religion into this, and I'm not going to, but there's some belief systems out there, people that believe that X, Y, and Z happened because of their belief. What's your thoughts about that?
What's the word I'm looking for? Kudos to them, because that's what they believe and feel.
Yeah,
So
so
you have to.
there's no right
I
or wrong
have to
there.
agree with them on their terms. I might not agree on my terms, but acceptance and letting people be and respecting people's thoughts and feelings. Well, go for it. You believe
My
it,
man,
literally.
spirituality right there. Do you know what I mean?
Is it spiritual gangster?
No, that's all. I'll wear that t-shirt next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
Exactly. that.
I think with that, everyone's got their own beliefs, and that's what they are entitled to. I'm a non-believer, but I don't disbelieve and I don't believe. For me, I'm very much a person that if I see it, I believe in it. But if you believe in it, I'm not going to go, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, you shouldn't be thinking this. Good play to you.
Yeah,
Them beliefs, they only bring out the positive, going back to the positive feeling. So if you believe in that and it brings a positive side out. My son, 10-year-old, he turned around to me and he said, Dad, do you believe in God? Do you not believe in God? And I went, I don't know. And what do you mean you don't know? I said, because for me, there isn't any proof there is or there isn't. And that's coming from a 10-year-old. So I'm very, very open to these things, but I'm never going to shut the door to say, no, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Josh, let me ask you one question from what you said earlier, right? You've worked hard for something and you've got the rewards out of that. But there's someone, for example, who's a God-fearing person and has prayed for you to get that reward. And they come to you and they say, Josh, you only got this because I was praying to God. But you know that you worked for it.
Yeah.
How would that make you feel?
Respectfully, thank you. Namaste. Thank you.
Yeah.
Literally, to work and say.
Namaskar.
Because I'm like, blessings fall upon my right hand, as Coffee says. Gratitude is a must. I'm a very grateful person. So I'm happy to receive your prayers and your blessings in any religious form you feel fit.
But they genuinely believe that it's their prayers that got you your reward, and you genuinely believe it's your hard work.
Think about what you're saying. They believe.
Yes.
I respect it, respectfully. I accept it. We're going back to the acceptance.
It's all about acceptance.
And
Accept
I
whatever.
love the fact that they're even confident enough to tell me that they think that and they feel that. Because in their world, in their eyes, that's what they think and believe.
And you don't mind that they're not recognising your hard work.
And you see, when you know yourself, not to do with the hard work, anyone's views or thoughts are a bonus, but you have enough bonuses anyway for yourself. So that's lovely to be told that, and I'm neither here or there without. But I'm grateful that you think and feel that. I respect it. I'm taking it on board.
Beautiful. It does.
I think if they're going to get the positive thoughts from that, so be it. But you know deep down inside that possibly it's been your hard work what's got you where it is. Yeah. So who are you to turn around and say no to them, which will dampen down their positivity and all of that. Yeah. So let them believe that.
Let them believe
if they want to believe it, let them have that moment and take possibly the praise because you've done it. But you know that it's the hard work, it's the extra hours, it's the promotion work, what you've done, it's your beliefs, you've knocked down barriers, you've opened it up to men, you've opened it up to black people being a Manny. Your own hard work has actually got you to be on a show like this, promoting everything where it's your own belief. It's everything what you've worked for, you're going to reap the rewards for.
And in saying that, in line with synchronicity and what we feel and what we think, energy is transferable. So if you're giving me nothing but good energy, I want every single ounce of it. Whether it's this God or your God, or it's from a Bible or Quran or a Torah, I want every ounce of that goodness, bring it. I want that in my cup. My cup. When you talk about emotional cups and my cup being full, my cup needs to be abundantly overflowing, constantly. So bring all of your good vibes over here.
100%.
My door's open for it.
But as human beings, we can't ignore the negative side of things.
Oh yeah, of course not.
We can't ignore the downside. We cannot
No.
ignore the drawbacks, because then we get caught up in this fantasy of a one-sided perception. We have to embrace both to live a life of equilibrium.
I was just about to say, playing devil's advocate to that then, if this person was to be praying and for you to get the success what you were, but you didn't do anything about it, you didn't realise this was going on, so you didn't put the hours in, you didn't do the emails, the promotional work and everything, would you have got where you are now?
It probably...
Just playing devil's advocate.
If I didn't put the work in, no. Regardless of what anyone's blessing, anyone's thoughts or feelings towards me, like positively, so anyone's prayers towards me or gratefulness that I'm doing this and well wishes,
Yeah.
I won't get to where I'm getting to if you don't do the work, because they're, like, it's like with children. You're a father, I work with children, you're a father. You can take a horse to the water, but you can't make the horse drink the water. So it's like I can only help you and pray for you and believe in you to the extent where you have to get up and action it yourself. It's like teaching a child how to walk. They're only going to want to walk when they're ready to walk.
So just in a sentence, synchronicity, what's that mean to you, Joss?
Meaningful coincidences or meaningful moments that have happened on purpose.
On purpose?
For a reason.
So things that have happened for a reason.
Yes. And you don't always find the reason in life straight away, like anything in life. Like, you might find one reason, then find a bigger reason later. Especially things like love. You might find the reason you love someone now, then find a bigger reason down the line. It's like, wow, that's why I love them.
And that goes nicely on to you because that's what you found, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's gone back to the story about how I met Mel, my wife, and different things. But I think for me, synchronicity is very hard to explain. But as an example of that, I mean, if we go back to around about 18 months ago, I organised a climb of Kilimanjaro for a guy who was blown up in Afghanistan, no legs, and at the last minute he pulled out. And I normally don't go on social media. But this one day I went onto Facebook and a friend of mine from the Invictus games, he actually put on there, he's got a love for mountains and everything, he'd love to climb one. He's a double amputee from the Afghan war as well. So I put on his Facebook feed straight away, okay, well, how about I've got all this set up, let's climb Kilimanjaro. And he went, yeah, all right, no problem. And then within 2 months, we started planning. Last September, we climbed Kilimanjaro. He was the first person without any legs, above knee, and I'd done it as well with my wife, my best friend. So it was brilliant. So that's where I get it from.
Great, thanks guys. Well, synchronicity for me, I agree with both of you guys. It's and I can echo in terms of the meaningful coincidences, but really it's connected, events that are connected to one another. But whether it's through hard work, whether it's through what you feel inside and then it happens externally, whether it's through wish, whatever it is, it's things that happen for a reason, things that you're connected with internally that you feel in the core and all of a sudden happens, yes, with or without hard work. But with hard work, it's sort of like justified synchronicity. It's things that happen in tangent, things that happen together.
Yeah.
That's synchronicity right there.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. God bless you.